In this video, I'll put you through a very basic implementation of the mono proof API. I'll show you a POC where this API has been integrated using TypeScript and ExpressJS. At this stage, I expect you to have gone through the prerequisites. You need to have signed up on the mono dashboard and completed your KYC. You need to also create an app with the product set to prove, generate your secret key and save it. Also, you need to configure a webhook URL and add it to your dashboard. We're going to be using the sandbox environment. So all we need is our sandbox mono secret key. Now, so this is a TypeScript ExpressJS API server set up using proof. And one thing we want to take note of are the dependencies that were set up. We have cause.env express nano ID for IDs and Zod for schema validation. So next I'll go to our index.ts where we have .env configured. This helps us bring in our environment variables. We have cause to help with cross-site requests. And then we have our secret key brought in from our environment variables. So appropriately, we have our prod secret key for prod and test secret key for sandbox. We also have our server setup using Express, and we have a global error handler. Next, we go into our services, where we have our base URL configured and also our redirect URL. The redirect URL is the page or a website that your user will be sent to after they complete their proof verification on the widget. Now we set up our initiate endpoint, and also we want to create our request, pass in our secret key, and then return our response. Now, this services contains the API calls we're going to be making to the mono API. It doesn't define the APIs that we're going to expect whoever is consuming this API to integrate directly. So next, we're going to our webhooks. So we have our webhook configured on v1/webhooks.mono. Don't forget we have v1 configured here. This is our base router. So we come to webhooks. So we have it as v1/webhooks/mono. We also want to interact with our mono webhook secret key. So it is sent in the headers. So we want to validate that. If it's not the right secret key, we send a 401 with invalid signature. If it's the right one, we want to work with the events that was sent. So we handle each case separately. You decide to process it, maybe send the verification started notification to the user, or you want to just do something else in database. And for events that we don't recognize, we want to handle it in a different way. If we're able to successfully process the webhook, we send 200 back to the user, back to Mono. Now, I configured a forwarded port address here. So this helps us receive events from Mono, right? So we've added this URL to our dashboard. So when requests are sent to that URL, we receive it in our terminal here. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make our API call. But before that, let's go through our actual URLs. So once again, we've configured our schema. So we're using Zod to validate the schema. And then we have our route setup, so /verify, so v1/verify, pass our schema, and if it's successful, we extract the data. Now we make a call to this initiate proof service, which was created here earlier. So we make a call to that. If we get back successful from Mono, we want to insert into our database, which we are using SQLite to work with. So we have SQLite set up here. So the next thing we want to do is also want to return a response back to the caller. If there was an error, we want to handle the error and return an error. So we also have other routes set up for other customer interactions. We're just going to be working with initiate proof for now. So we'll make a call to the verify endpoint. We made a call here. We want to copy the proof URL. We also see our webhook that we received. So this is the webhook received for initiated. So now come to our browser. Now we have welcome back, Christian. So now this is the widgets. So the user will select what method they want to use to receive an OTP. This is for a returning user. Look at all of the details to share, grant permission, continuous access, give camera permissions. That's facial recognition done. And at this point, we have everything set up and we should receive the verification successful webhook. So this could take some time to be received. But after completing the facial recognition, you get this webhook and that is it. You're able to confirm that the customer has actually shared their details with you. And if you're not convinced, you can always take the URL, come back to request. You can see we can fetch the customer reference. So let's come back, get customer details. I want to pass in that reference. So now we can see status is active. We can see all of the details that were shared. So this is how to integrate the Monoproof API in your product. Thank you.